Hi fan cubs, it's your Mama Lion T-Bell, and this is time for What's My Problem Theater. Ever since I was roughly 8, I found out there were certain sounds that would just drive me crazy, like past annoying, like it went beyond the world of annoying. And they were like smacking while eating, the sound of suckers in your mouth, the bubblegum chewing, bubblegum popping is the absolute worst. Like, it's the most superfluous of things you can do with bubblegum. It's not going to make the gum last longer. If you pop it, you're just making a sound to make a sound. But that's beside the point. I just suffered for years and years and years until I finally was just Googling and I found out it's an actual condition. This is a totally real thing. It's called misophonia and it's an actual condition that I have. It's considered a neuropsychological thing, and it's a very similar thing to Tourette's. You can consider it like an inward anti-asthma thing. So I'm gonna break it down scientifically. In a normal process of hearing something, there are stimuli, there are vibrations that are picked up by your ears, and then they travel on the neurological freeway to your brain, and the part of the brain that recognizes it, and then the part of the brain that sorts things, categorizes it, and then your memory just stores it. That's normal things, normal non-misophonia things. So what happens with misophonia is that these certain sound triggers will go into your ears, they will travel along the neurological freeway, but then they will take a detour. They will take a detour through your amygdala, which is the part of the brain responsible for the flight or fight response. And then they will get recognized, and then they will get categorized, and then they will get memorized. What is basically happening is that your sound triggers are convincing your brain that you're about to die. Now, I do think that this detour had a purpose, at least at some point, because if you hear a loud sound or an angry sound or a death-like sound, your fear response is gonna kick in before your hearing response. And that's a good thing, it keeps you out of danger. But misophonia is mixing up things that have nothing to do with the danger or the fear and lumping them in that category and making them go through that detour. I've never really had the words to describe how severe it feels because this is a disorder that kind of goes against the social contract. You're not supposed to chew with your mouth open, but unless you're Emily Post, no one's going to call that out. I've said it was extremely annoying, I've said it was like static in my brain, but these days I'm like, no, it's pain. You are causing me pain. That is a painful thing that you are doing right now. I have a very hard time focusing when I hear a sound trigger. Like, as much as you have to try and hear the radio when there's static, I have to try and be a human when there's a sound trigger. I worked retail for a number of years. And you try explaining that you have a disorder when they really just want you to bag their groceries and not mention their gum. One of the big things that separates misophonia from just an annoying sound is the severe negative feeling that the sufferer gets when they hear their trigger sound. It's a lot less, wow, that is an annoying sound that I'm bored and that's the only thing I can concentrate on. Thank you for inconveniencing my day. It's a lot more, ow. Ow, why are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you hurting me? Why are you hurting me? Make it stop! And researchers that have studied misophonia have seen that sufferers will attribute negative attributes to the person causing their triggers. See, my intellectual side will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's my best friend, or my husband, or a little old lady, and none of them mean any ill will towards me by chewing gum. But my lizard brain's trying to eat itself, so it's really wanting to put the blame all on them. Like, I have been in a math test and screamed at someone, and they still to this day have no idea why. So let's talk coping mechanisms, okay? Personally, I have spent probably decades, and I do mean decades, trying the mechanism of just ignoring it, just trying to focus everything and just ignore it. Basically, I repressed it, like a Victorian represses their libido. But that has done absolutely nothing. It's still there. Misophonia affects you for years, if not your entire life. Lately, some of the best things that I've been doing to cope is just allow myself to feel it and recognize that this is painful. You are in pain. If you stub your toe and ignore it, you're gonna have a hard time walking. But if you allow yourself to feel it as pain, then you don't have to just push it somewhere where it will erupt eventually. Now, sometimes what I will do is basically convulse a little, just like jerk or shake, feel like I've been hit. But somehow that feels better. Somehow that makes it feel like I'm acknowledging it and I can move on at least a little bit. Other forms of coping, I am blessed with some psoriasis over my ear, so I will usually just rub it, and all I hear is just a little light scratching as opposed to the trigger sound. I will, if it gets bad, cover my ears. Now, my misophonia has gotten to a degree where I have sought self-harm as a coping mechanism. I don't recommend that. Don't do that. Please, fan cubs, I love you. If I'm in church or somewhere where I have to sit down for a long time, I will draw or take notes. That has definitely helped since I have started sketching regularly in the past few years. And if it's too bad, if you just can't do anything to cope, just leave. Just take a chill pill. If you are able to leave, go to the bathroom, go outside, walk around. I have spent entire Bible studies in the ladies' room. It's okay. Interacting with other people time. I don't like to tell people I have misophonia, mainly because it's like telling someone you're ticklish. Because humans do that thing where you tell them not to do this one thing and they will immediately do it to test your boundaries.
Ooh, let me push Haley's buttons. All of the buttons, huh? Meh.
See, all of that. The only people I've had really any luck telling are people that I've ended up living with, like roommates, or my husband, or my parents. But now I'm telling everyone on the internet, so this ought to be great. It is something to consider, like if any of you fan cubs and I meet up at a con, I will never tell you to spit out your gum. That would be rude of me. I only do that to the man I married. But if you do notice that I'm kind of being shy and awkward and not making eye contact on top of my usual shy and awkward self, that's probably a potential reason. So, that was my problem today. If any of you fan cubs suffer from misophonia, let's have solidarity in this comments section. I want to hear all your pain and vicarious horror. Don't forget to like and subscribe, donate to the Patreon maybe. And if you liked, thanks for listening. If you didn't, I look forward to your flames. But seriously, gum popping is so useless. It's the most useless thing you can do with your mouth. I mean it.